Welcome. My name is Payton Nothdurft, and I am the Director of Service Delivery with LB Networks. I work with all of our customers to ensure great usage of their OcularIP platform. With me today, I have Raymond Chiu from LB Networks and Brian Hattaway from Procore as well.
Hello, everybody. My name is Raymond Chiu, as Payton just mentioned. Thank you, Payton. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at LB Networks. We help all our customers globally with our OcularIP e-compliance, SLA business reporting, software as a service platform, and our newly launched business service portal. Brian?
I'm Brian Hattaway, and I'm the principal and founder of Procore Resource Group and IOLite Solutions. And we're a Salesforce.com implementation consultant and product development specialist. And the reason we're here today is we've helped develop some really cool technology to be able to connect LB Networks into Salesforce.
Thanks, Brian and Raymond, for introductions. Now let's talk about the purpose of today's webinar. All industries are being shaped by the challenge in getting the correct information to the correct information consumer to be used when it is required. This has driven the demand for automation and integration. Organizations typically have all of the data required to be successful. However, it may be in separate silos across multiple groups within the organization. Successful organizations are taking action to leverage these assets, processes, and data to meet their various business needs. Automation needs to be fast, easy, and accurate. Key point in talking about automation focuses more on speed, because when you automate, you are responsive, you get data and information to the people who need it fast and accurately. This supports business objectives such as improving customer interactions and efficient business processes. Automation gets you speed and accelerates the business success. It's not about the big eating the small, it's about the quick eating the slow. Accelerating your business success requires automation and integration. However, many organizations bristle at the thought due to the historical challenge of accomplishing integration to have automation. The concerns about development, design, testing, flexibility, plus time, costs, and ongoing support are all valid concerns. In other words, anything but easy. In many companies, the primary source of data is their Salesforce environment. In fact, it is often referred to as the single source of truth. Integrating and automating the single source of truth with applications critical to your business success can now also be considered easy. LB Networks and Procore have answered these challenges and make it easy with proven integration and automation apps and APIs. The next few minutes will show how easy it is. First, let's meet the players in the game. Brian, can you tell us about your company and the challenges you've seen in the industry and Salesforce integration?
Sure. One of the things that we had to solve for, as we've done many different Salesforce implementations, we see the fact that many people have data that's not in Salesforce and they need to get it into Salesforce. And that's traditionally a challenge because when people are trying to move data from one place to another, it typically involves developer resources, time, and usually lots of money as well. And one of the things that we wanted to do was try and make this easier. And so we set about developing several products that allow us to communicate from Salesforce to other companies and other platforms in such a way that it makes it very easy to move that data.
Why is your solution so widely and easily adopted?
Well, again, because we wanted to be able to set up that communication. One of the challenges in Salesforce is that anyone can modify Salesforce in any way that they want. We usually talk about the fact that every company has their own brand of crazy in Salesforce. And the problem is when there's so many different ways that you can connect to Salesforce, it's really difficult to have a consistent solution. And so one of the things that we wanted to do in order to solve that, we created a tool that we call Nexus that allows us to basically have a universal catcher's mitt. And it allows us to be able to find data, collect it, allow the systems administrators to be able to easily map it so that we can create an API that is both rapid and simple.
Thank you, Brian, for the insight. Raymond, can you tell us about what OcularIP does and why do you hear your customers in the industry request Salesforce and automation?
Absolutely, Peyton. First and foremost, OcularIP helps our customers with performance SLA. We call it e-compliance reporting. And in order for a carrier to have the automation and business success about it, around it, it all starts first with their end customers placing an order. That information is all stored in Salesforce. It goes through the ordering process, the CRM process. It flows into provisioning, and then those circuits and services are onboarded in OcularIP. And what our clients have always expressed a need for is the ability to take that information that's in Salesforce and automate it into the OcularIP APIs as simple, as accurately, with precision, being precise as possible. And that's where Procore really comes in and helps with their Salesforce connector into OcularIP for automation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Raymond. You both talk about helping the industry, and it is very exciting. But is it really that easy? Does Salesforce really connect easily with OcularIP, or is there a lot of time and effort that is needed from the customer?
Well, Peyton, that's why we put our tools together, is so that we could make this simple and easy. And just to give you some comparison statistics, if you were going to directly create APIs, it would take weeks or even months and long times of implementation, and it requires developer resources in Salesforce. And we wanted to eliminate all of that. And so by implementing our Nexus connector, we're able to basically pre-package the connection and make it so that it's not a developer that's doing this work, but it's actually a Salesforce administrator. And so it's the people that already know how to operate Salesforce are doing things that they know how to do already in Salesforce. So we're not asking companies to expend any additional resources, find any additional training. It's all stuff that should be very native to a Salesforce administrator. So, and in order to do that, all it requires is a download of our tool and then some mapping functions to be able to connect the data that you want to see in OcularIP with the data that you already have in Salesforce. And once the connection has been made, it's very simple button clicks in order to be able to let your users bring that Ocular data to life by just some quick button clicks in Salesforce.
Thanks, Brian. And I'd like to add to that too is your team at Procore has made it really easy to build the Salesforce connector and a tool, if you will, that integrates the Salesforce and all its data with its mapping functionality right in OcularIP. We've got customers that leverage our APIs today, and just to provide an example, a customer recently loaded 20,000 circuits within a matter of minutes and continually enriched the circuit information ongoing with this type of automation.
I think in order to be able to show this in the best way possible, I think it's best now to turn it over to Kevin and let him do a demo just to show you how easy this can be done.
Thank you, Brian. My name is Kevin Rootz. I'm a solutions engineer here at LB Networks. I've been working with the team pretty closely on the Procore integrations that we have been doing with our customers. And I do have a demo that I will walk you guys through today. Setting things up. This is going to be a provisioning demo. So in this instance, we have a new customer that has added a site to our offerings. Everything's been added into Salesforce already. So using the connector app, we'll get that information from Salesforce into OcularIP, and I'll show you what that end result will look like once everything's been added via that connector. So I have our demo pulled up here. And this is the OcularIP system that we have connected to our Salesforce integration instance. You'll notice here that our customer has 4 circuits listed within OcularIP. We need to add a 5th that will be added to OcularIP, ending up in that customer view for them to see their circuit and all that statistics within OcularIP. So what I'll go ahead and do is we jump into our Salesforce profile here, and we can see I've got these 5 circuits selected, 6 through 10. Notice we only had 6 through 9 in our demo views from OcularIP, so we need to get circuit 10 added to OcularIP. If I select circuit 10, we can see all of the information we have for circuit 10 listed within Salesforce. This can be anything from location information to basic system information, all of the profile settings, any custom labels that need to be added for AT&T type reporting. Everything can be tracked within Salesforce and has been mapped previously to allow all the connections from here's the Salesforce value, that equals the OcularIP value. That's some of the mapping that Brian was talking about earlier. Once that's done, you do it once, it's set up. So now all we need to do is to use the Nexus connector to run those API calls through the connector into OcularIP. So with circuit 10 selected, I'm going to go ahead and say I want to add my circuit, and I'll select execute. We get a progress bar that shows us, hey, we're sending the commands. It's going to execute, and then we'll get a complete notice letting us know that it has been completed. The next thing I'll do is run through a few other options. Now for our demo, excuse me, for our demo here, I'm doing everything, manually, one click, one action. That does not have to be the case with, other implementations. Things like setting up a workflow when a circuit's added and it's signed off by sales or signed off by the technical team. We can automate a lot of these things to go ahead and execute all of these different commands based on statuses that have been set within other fields within Salesforce. So really automating that process for once things have been handed off, the customer's active, making sure the information from Salesforce gets populated into other systems. Okay, so we've got all of our edits complete here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is jump back into OcularIP. We still see 4. I'm going to refresh my page. We see our circuit count has jumped up to 5 here, and I've got circuit 10 available for me. Give it about 5-10 minutes, and I'll start to see that information flowing into OcularIP, as I would expect the system to do. It's that simple. If I want to remove circuits, add circuits, make changes, hey, we upgraded a switch somewhere. We need to make sure that system name and manufacturing model is updated. All of that can be done via the Salesforce connectors that IOLITE and Procore have completed. So very, very easy, very simple to do. I love using this, and I love giving these demos. It makes it very easy to showcase just how simple this really is. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kevin, Brian, and Raymond. And a special thank you, Kevin, for showing us how quick and easy it is. One last question for you, Brian. Does the IOLITE connector work with other systems?
Absolutely. As I mentioned when we started off, our goal was to be able to make it easy for Salesforce to communicate with any number of third-party platforms. And so when we developed the IOLITE technology that's behind this Nexus connector, that's what we had in mind, was to be able to help others be able to connect to Salesforce, just like we've done with LB. And so we've created additional connectors with ConnectBase, with Newstar, and with a variety of other platforms in the telecom space. So there's lots of different ways that we can help make Salesforce the center of how you communicate and make it that single source of truth for all of your business operations.
One final question to you, Raymond, as well. Are there other areas that customers in the industry are looking for in integration and automation?
Payton, that's a really excellent question. And we do get asked from customers for other integration areas. And like you said at the beginning of the webinar series, the key to workflow and automation and the business successes is to have this type of digital integration. So working with Procore in partnership for the Salesforce integration is a main key one because it starts the entire workflow. But customers have also asked for, and we have different connectors and software development kits that enable our carriers to integrate change management information, for example. So how to optimize their business reporting, those change management information like exclusions, upcoming maintenances, need to be integrated in. We also have customers that integrate through our business service portal, single sign-on capabilities for their end user experiences to log in. And we also do some further custom development work to help our customers with like inventory management. If they want to make sure their Salesforce example is up to date with the most recent enriched information, that information can be integrated further in with OcularIP as well.
Thank you, Raymond, for the insight. And thank you all for your time on this panel.
Thank you, Peyton, for having us, and Brian, thank you for joining us, and the partnership that Procore and LBN has and making that connector easy was fantastic.
Thanks for having me on, and looking forward to continuing that partnership. Appreciate it.